Hello and welcome everybody to another video, or welcome to this video. Hopefully the music is not too loud, that is super distracting. Anyways, let's get down to it. Today we will be drawing, but we'll be using Blender Grease Pencil. Why Blender Grease Pencil? Because I want to learn how to animate in Blender Grease Pencil, and best way to learn how to animate in a software is to just learn how to draw in that software, or depending on what type of animation you're doing. Obviously in my case it's 2D animation, so drawing would be my thing. If I want to learn how to do a lot of 3D animation, I will do that. That will be a future video, but for now let's get started by drawing random things that come up to my mind, or not to my mind, but in general. So I just went on Pinterest, looked up a couple things. You can look at my screen right here, and I went here and I was like, you know what, let me draw some animals. So looked up, well, I went on Pinterest and then found some animals like dog pictures, you know, and stuff like that. And then I thought, might as well just draw it, or you know what, let's animate it. Let's animate it. A little picture, maybe a dolphin or something. So I'm gonna open this up, make it bigger, stuff, so I can see it when I'm looking up, and then I could get a good idea how it's gonna look. Right now, what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna have the drawing go from one corner and then start moving across the dolphin. Now this will be my first time ever drawing a dolphin and animating it, so let's wish me good luck. Now let's go to my drawing screen. Showed up, yep, we're in the drawing screen, and let's get started. Oh, and also I decided to have it be in a timer, so let's have a timer for it. So 15 minutes sounds like it's good enough, right? So let's press start. Timer started, and now I'm just gonna draw. Make sure you're in a solid stroke this time around. I want to make sure that I have my solid strokes, and I want to make sure that I can edit the color. So that'll be like a blue, and I want to see the layers that I have. I have line, color, background, and midground. So for I'm gonna have a background, which that should have been lower. So in midground, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a path that I want to follow, right? And then mark it down with like little dashes to see the spacing of things. It's gonna go down very slowly, right? And then right here it's just gonna start piling up. And here is gonna really pile up the keyframes, and then it's gonna all of a sudden speed up a little, so they're gonna be slightly more spaced off. Now you're probably wondering, what am I doing? I am creating overall a line at where I want this to go. And now going back to the line work, make sure it is slightly darker. Now I want, what the heck? So I want the dolphin to have his head be kind of like that, right? Let's pretend that this is the body, right? Just shift them over. Just learning the software a little bit. So let's pretend that this is the body, and then the tail will be somewhere here, right? What is going on? Oh, I erased. Okay, so the tail will be somewhere around here. This would be the tail. So if we just follow that, then divide it, right? Now we can follow that on the next like 2 frames down, right? I want this circle thing to be over here. And then circle. And then let's make this be going curving downwards or something, right? Because the fin is gonna be going like this. And then obviously the head will be right there. So let's pretend that the head's right there. 2 frames down. I timed it to be over here. Now when it gets closer, it should be looking like it is. Let's see. Fin will be like that. Now you're probably wondering what the heck is going on. Let's see. Keep it even frames. Now this is, I think, a different layer, if I'm correct. Right now I should be in the layer for the lines. So if I hide the midground, right, I will still have this. Therefore I could go back and forth and then play it. See, and it's flowing. It's not flowing very smooth, but it is flowing. I bring back the line work there, and no, there. It was that one. Now we were in frame 6. Okay, I want the head to be right there. For some odd reason, it is flowing kind of slow, so I gotta be very careful. And I kind of want the dolphin to come closer to us, so maybe in the next frame. 2 frames down, obviously. This one, the body will look like it's getting smaller, but bigger as it comes closer. And in this circle will be bigger, and in this circle will be smaller. And then 2 more frames down. This one gets closer. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out as I go. I'm animating in 2s. Now that's one thing that I have to keep in mind. You see how I erased everything? Even the line in the background. So what we're gonna do is make sure to lock it, the midground, so that the midground doesn't get affected when I erase on line work, right? Like this. See? Lines are still there. I should have made it darker. So far as that, how much time are we down? Not much. Maybe I should just get started with it. But I kind of want to finish this part out. Okay. I can't tell sometimes. The downside with animating in grease pencil is that the lines won't disappear until after you're done to do like a little mark. So sometimes it's better to just do like a little dash, erase it, and then go back at it. and it's only into that frame that it starts showing up. So maybe around frame 6 it'll be right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah. And make sure to add the little circle so you can tell where the head is always pointing. And now if we go back, this is how it looks. Looks like it's kind of like slows down there just so that I think of where it wants to go. Maybe someone threw something at it. And now what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna have a kind of like little story of where is it going. So in background, I'm gonna set up some things. No, I'm gonna add something to make add another make ground, and I'm gonna call this. No, I'm gonna call this foreground. Foreground. Now the reason why I'm gonna call it foreground is because it has nothing to do with everything else. And then here for that one, I'm gonna call it Dolphin. Dolphin. I'm hoping I'm spelling that right. Anyways, foreground. And the foreground, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to here, fill, go back to this one, so make sure it is vertex, so then it is dark. And then what I do is I'll do like a dark purple, like a really dark purple, and then I do like a cave thing that it looks like it's going into, right? And then I gotta make it even darker right there. Oh, you know what? Make it darker for like, instead of making a cave, and make it an arc. Like if it's like some sort of natural cave thing that is around there. That doesn't look right. Alright, that looks more like it. And now, if I press play, right, because this one doesn't move, this frame. So, if I press play, I should have the dolphin going through and swimming through that area. Maybe because it's so high, I could move this piece down. So I'm gonna go to. Normally you would do that sort of thing in a different object, but since I don't have that sort of ability, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press object mode, and then no, edit mode. Let's see if I can do this. I thought I was gonna be able to animate all of this in so little time. Oh, I already selected it all. Right. And press G and move it down, probably like that. And then go back to draw mode and just finishing up this part. Okay, that seems about right. So now we have a path where everything's going through, and by the way, the timer is up. I already heard it, but now we can kind of see it. And this part needs to get you know, faded out. So I think for this foreground, right, because I'm still drawing the foreground, and I keep only half of this, like this part, and then this part will be in the background. So for that to happen, I go on the second layer, right, on the second frame, and then I'm gonna quickly trace over some of this, right. It doesn't matter if it's accurate. I just want to make sure I get all of this blocked out. Other areas are gonna be blocking out. Maybe a little bit of a tree thing right here, or grass. And then see, and it looks nice. Maybe I'll add some little grass there, like seaweed looking thing. Now the seaweed will stay the same. But it definitely helps sell the illusion, right? Maybe a little crab thing right here. That looks like a crab, right? No, it doesn't. I'm thinking I could erase all this, but very carefully. Oh, I messed up. I go onto edit mode. And press X. Points. Draw mode. Alright, so now we got something in the foreground. Now for the background, let's do the same thing. But this time, I'm gonna make it slightly lighter. But I also want some of the darkness. So I'm gonna go onto here. And I'm gonna add some of this darkness. Oh. Let's add some leaves and stuff there. It's just to add like a silhouette around here. Remember, this is background stuff, so it'll always be covered up and stuff.
Let me ask you a question, would you kill?
Right. It's also going in that same layer. Now, what I'm gonna do is go to the first layer, right? And then I'm gonna press X and delete that keyframe. Alright. Oh, that makes sense. Because I have it all in the background. So, go here. Foreground. X. The keyframe. Go to the second one and bring it in. Now this way it is you're able to see that one and that one separate. Now that is important because which one's in front? Foreground's in front. Backgrounds. Wait, isn't background supposed to be in the back, not in the front? Well, let's see if the line work shows up in front of the dolphin shows up. Yeah, that works. Because right now it is going behind what's in the front and then seeing it. Now this is a cool technique that you can always do whenever you're 2D animating. And now that we are in foreground, right? And no, background, that's the one that we're gonna be working with. We're gonna go for background, go back to this, make it slightly lighter, change the tint. And then just slowly fill in some of these areas. Maybe some little rocks here and there to get hit by the light. Up here, maybe too. Maybe not that one. And then make it much brighter again. This time more blue. And you know, has it all throughout this area right here. To give it a different kind of glowing effect. And now go to, what's it called, the just like that. And what I can do is make sure here I go back to solid stroke. Now the reason why I go back to solid stroke is that I can change this from being the pencil to being like the fine inked pen or something like that, right? So then the opacity stays always at the same. I just do minor details here and there. For some odd reason, it is green. Maybe it's because the pencil was the one that had it be the other one. I think it was this pencil. Right, yeah. Command C. Because I want to make sure I copy that. The color. Fine ink pen. I want to have the exact same color. I mean, it gets it somewhat accurate. I put some here. Like little scratches and stuff to indicate rocks and different little markings and stuff. Tell me if you guys like the music, by the way, because I decided to change it up a little. I wonder if there's like a shortcut to like having the sampler tool. Now what I'm gonna do is for the like really far background, will be here, foreground, background, and then real background will be behind, background. By the way, normally you would do this sort of thing ahead. Bring it all the way down. And I want some sort of soft kind of look to it, so I'm gonna use that solid stroke, but I'm gonna go here and then change it to something like this, and then make sure I press F. So I can kind of see how big it is gonna be. Let's see, radius, strength, radius, pixels, 200 pixels. Let's have this be 700 pixels instead, right? And I'm gonna make sure it is a blue, like a purplish blue, and then I'm just gonna fill this in. That. Like I cover half of it like this, and then I have slight amount of blue. Make it darker though, and then pass it all throughout here. Alright. And all of a sudden it looks a lot better. Maybe make it slightly more darker also, and then just pass it all throughout here. And make it more dark blue, and pass it again, and pass it again, And pass it again. And pass it again. I wonder if there's like a blending brush. This one, maybe. Airbrush. Airbrush may have work. It may work. But I want something to blend it in. I guess there's nothing like that. So anyway, so far it looks like it is gonna be looking like this. That's so far what we got for our dolphin. And we are like half an hour through. For an animation going down this smooth, it's not bad. And it's all done in grease pencils. If you guys want to know how to pull that off, you can. And what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna go up to object mode, and I'm gonna click on the camera, right? And view, camera to view, right? Press N again, and then on the first frame, right? I'm gonna have keyframe the camera. Press G. Move it slightly up. Maybe scale it in, or zoom it in. G. No, what I'm trying to get across. Hey, baby. Is press I for the location, and then when it gets to frame 24, right? I want the location to change all the way down here, so it like follows it, but also zooms out a little. And then press location. For some odd reason it's not showing that to me, but it would show it if you go into Dope Sheet. So now we could kind of see it. See? And it feels like it's going nice and smooth with it. Following it from the top to the bottom as the dolphin swims through. Now it's not like that that refined and stuff, but it does get a nice feeling of you of like someone like seeing this whole entire seeing this dolphin coming and then trying to record it. So then they go down with the camera just to see a better angle, or a better way to approach it would be not just mark it down for let's see, Dope Sheet. Pressing the camera, right? And then not just press I for location, but also press for rotation, right? And then right here, rotate it a little, right? Maybe kind of like this. Like if you're slightly tilting it. And then press I. And then location and rotation. So it marks down the location and the rotation, right? And then when it's going down, it like tilts a little. So it feels like you're following it. And to sell the illusion a little, right? Another thing that you could do is go onto grease pencil this time, right? Now this is why it's important to have the objects be the way that they were done, right? I have all my animation being done with this brush right here. So I'm gonna go onto edit mode this time, and then go onto my layers, and then on my foreground, which is this, right? I keep that the same, but my background right here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide everything except my background, kind of like that, and then press that, and then press A, and then usually the background doesn't have any animations done with it, right? Like it's not actually being keyframed. So what I'm gonna do, other than that one frame, is go all the way to, I don't know, here, and then let's see, G, then move it slightly to the side. Now the reason why I did that is because the fact that now Like it like tracks us better out than in, right? I'm like looking it back and forth. I don't know why. It's just so relaxing to see an animation be so smooth sometimes, right? Uh, we can always be happy with what we accomplish and stuff. Now I know a dolphin normally moves like this, like in waves, which is something I didn't really get across here, but it'll be very simple to do. I could do just kind of like, yeah, I'll just draw it out. Let's see. This time I'll make sure that it's all in black, and then I'll be dolphin for the line work, solid stroke, and I'll make sure that it's not that type. It will be this ink pen. Let's hope that doesn't glitch. Another thing, save your work. Press Alt S, I think it was. Or Shift S. No. Control S to save my work. So I'm gonna save it under Dolphin. Swim test. Because it's a test at the end of the day, so in Blender grease. So. And then I save that. Now let's get started. So for now, I'm just gonna pause it so I could take a quick break. I will be back, I promise, you guys. But the music will have slightly changed by the time I come back. So hopefully you don't mind. And I'm back. Sorry for the wait. Well, technically for you guys, it wouldn't be much of a wait. It would just be for me. I needed to use the bathroom and all that sort of stuff. Now let's get back to animating, where we go in the process. We're using Sketch. I almost said Sketchbook Pro. What I actually meant to say is Blender Grease Pencil. So let's start off somewhere here, and let's see how far are we in here. Will be that part right there, and then that will be the tail. That will be the body. Let's see how the lines look. Okay, I could work with that. Okay. First things first, let's look back at the reference. So if you guys want to look at the references, it's just gonna be this one picture that I have, and that's what I've been using this whole entire time. Just that one picture as a reference. And from there, we'll be going on to the next thing where it's just animating it. Suggestions for all you guys: make sure you save your work always, and also make sure that you have more than one references. In this case, I'm making it harder on myself by only having one reference, but I think I could pull it off because there's plenty of angles on this picture alone. Like if you, what the heck is the mouse? Okay, if you look at the bottom part, you can tell that that's white. This will be a gray. You know, darker areas will be a darker blue to gray. Obviously, pins have like a color transition there. You know, body is kind of like that. So I got kind of like a general shape for the body. Looks more like a triangle there, and then another one there, and then a stick, and then it just spreads out, and then in the second part of the body, right in the towards the end part, ending towards the middle. That's where the fin on the top will be. Same thing will be applied here, same method, and so on and so forth. So let's get started with that. Go back to Blender, make sure I have, it doesn't matter if I draw all the way off in the distance over here, because of the fact that this part won't be seen, but I'd rather have it looking nice. So let's start by going one frame before it, right? Actually, let's go to 6 because for some odd reason it doesn't. Okay. And then shift, and then I'm moving the whole entire canvas around so I could draw up here. So first is the body. Well, this is the head. Make sure you see how some of it got erased in the background. That's something we want to avoid. So since we're gonna be doing that a lot in the background, layer lock everything. That's gonna stay the same. The only ones that won't get changed is the dolphin and the color, because the dolphin is gonna be the line work for the dolphin, and obviously the color for the dolphin. So, let's see. I'm trying to figure out the where everything should be at. This dolphin looks weird. And let's have the mouth be kind of like that, and then the eyes will be somewhere here, and the head would look like this, and then this will be the tail. And then this will be part of the body. So, and on top, man, this looks like a really ugly looking dolphin. This dolphin looks like straight up garbage. And this is why you have more than one reference, folks, out there. You want to make sure that all of your things are accurate. Not saying that Blender's not the best animation software out there, but could be better, right? Any animation software, to be honest, could be better. Not necessarily better than Blender, but you know, better in general. Like I've just Sketchbook Pro as an animation software, and that's okay. You can definitely get some really nice results just using Sketchbook Pro to do all the line work and all the coloring and everything. All you really need is a couple layers to get everything. But if you wanted to do effects like this, you definitely shouldn't be doing just Sketchbook Pro. This dolphin looks funky. That looks a little bit better. Maybe I could whenever you're animating. Okay, frame by frame, come on. Afterwards, it'll be, let's do this frame right here, which would be somewhere like where the fin is upwards, right? Right, and then it's gonna go straight like that, and then it gets bigger, and then the head will be like that, and then head, and then body. This fin is gonna go this. Seems like it got shorter. Takes a while to draw for some odd reason. I think it's because I'm recording. So because I'm recording, the computer takes a lot longer to calculate for everything. That's the best looking dolphin I've ever seen. Best looking dolphin I've ever seen. Oh, didn't want to do it. I thought I was gonna do like a really cool edit. No. Okay, let's get back to drawing. It's taking a while just to do anything. Okay. So this one, I'm gonna put a dot off here. Since you can't really see it, I'm gonna just focus on the parts that we're gonna be seeing. That way it saves me some time. Because it makes no sense for me to focus on everything, right? And then the eye will be somewhere here. And then the mouth. There's some of the bottom. Okay. So far, looks like this. It's going down. What's this line? Must have been a glitch or something. I put a line up there so then I can kind of see where is this dolphin going. Maybe he goes up a little. That'll be the mouth part. The head. The body. Head. Body. Fin. That's normally. I feel like since it looks like it's going off into the distance, this thing should be smaller. Ooh, yeah, that looks a lot better. Or maybe even make a line underneath it. Kind of like that. Okay. Feels like this one is missing the fin right here. And then goes like this for this frame. Then this will be the head. Feels like I'm making it skinnier than what it's supposed to be. And then this will be where the fin will be at. Nope. Body. Fin. The little marking. Mouth going that way. Eye. Thing up here. It's already coming out looking massively disgusting. Okay, let's take a look at how it's coming out. If I press play, right? Let's get like the key points. It's gonna be going this way, right? But then it's gonna go over here, right? Somewhere around here would be a key point. Yeah, here. Which would be this drawing right here. So it will be going downwards. So fin up. Kind of like that. And then it'll be doing this sort of thing. And then if I go over here to this drawing right here, now I have to get this dolphin to look like it's going up, or maybe going downwards. So this would be frame where it does this. Actually, erase that. Scrap that idea. Maybe the fin is slightly going up. And fin. The bottom part. And then the eye. And then that. That looks like a funky looking dolphin, right? Funky with the N. Okay. And then when it goes from here to here, it's supposed to go down. So this is supposed to sway from here to here, right? No, doesn't look like it's going much down. I think I went too far back. Okay. That looks weird. Sometimes when people draw, they like stay very quiet, because it's always good to draw on a quiet environment. It's much more relaxing too. So I don't have a keyframe right there, so I add one. It's supposed to be head there, then body there. This one's supposed to go by faster, so I indicate lines of speed. And then the last frame will be down here, and that'll be only the tail because it goes by faster since it's closer to us. So it will be only the tail that you see. That'll be the body leading to the tail, maybe fin up here. I don't need to erase that, but I did. Fin. Sure that's there, and in that. And I'm adding another frame somewhere here, and then this one is just gonna be kind of like this. And then another one where it's not gonna be there. Nothing's gonna be there. I just put like a random mark. Kind of like that. Now if we take a look from here, how can we get that effect? It will be scaling this thing up. But how can we scale it? It will be as simple as drawing something like that. Right? And drawing his head turning towards the camera. And then right here, it'll be somewhere right there in the middle area. So if we were just do a body right here, that's how it will look. And then the fin will be over here. Erase some of it. You know, the bottom part of the dolphin. The eye. The eye is too high in this case. And this part. And all of a sudden, I think we got a keyframe for almost all the frames. And now let's take a look at the animation, see what we got.
That's so nice. Looks
And
so
now
cool.
we need to add the color and then call it a day.
Looks cool.
This just goes to show you guys and girls out there that you can animate in grease pencil blender. Obviously it will take a while to get the hang of it, but it is possible. There are some limitations, obviously, like any software, but if you wanted to do simple frame by frame animation or even tweening and stuff like that, there are plenty of videos out there where you can find this information on. I just wanted to make this a quick video, but it turns out it got a lot longer, but because I wanted to go more detailed, it didn't look right without the water and all that sort of thing to it. Okay, so for color, I want to make sure that I have this set up, and I want to make sure that I am in the right layer. So let me see my layers. This time I'm gonna go to color, and for color I'm gonna go to solid fill. Go back up here so I can see the colors that I have, and I want to make sure that the solid fill will be from here on down, but here there's nothing, so I'm just gonna mark it down like that. Now the reason why I marked it down is so at least it has a blank frame already established. Usually Blender automatically animates whatever frames you have. Now the dolphin, I'm gonna add a bluish tone to it, and all the color will be applied underneath. Now, whenever you're animating, a cool technique is to go through all your frames, right? Coloring in whatever needs coloring, right? And then afterwards, you go to your next color, and then you do the same thing. And I'm just going around. Next frame. By the way, when I go to the next frame, what I tend to do is I just press the side, like right arrow key. Not sure what you guys press, but that's what I do. Now the downside with doing it this method, the way that I'm coloring it, is that I'll have to go through a very long process just to get get the right color again if I ever mess up something. Sometimes the best thing to do is just start off small and then go on big, because in that way you can see whatever you haven't colored. So 2 strokes pretty much instead of just 1. Now the best thing about grease pencil and doing it in a 3D modeling software, some of the 3D effects that I did could have been easily done much faster if I had done this instead of in separate layers, in separate objects. Because whenever you're trying to do a effect like what I just did, where one item like this side right here moves a little, like this side right here. No. This part right here moves over to the side. If you ever wanted to do something like that, you can always have them separate items, and then just like my hands, whenever you rotate it, one eventually overlaps the other. Just have it placed slightly in front of the other, so that when the camera rotates, it rotates too. And so, and then you could do some light effects and stuff like that to it. You know, there's an infinite amount of possibilities, just like Photoshop or Sketchbook Pro or Manga Studio. You know, any animation software usually has its ups and downs, but it also has its own little tricks, tips and tricks for everybody that wants to try it out. Add blue there. There. And then add a very small amount there. And then here, it'll be just that. And make it bigger. This is where it gets closer. Just when the dolphin has decided to swim our direction. You know, normally I will time lapse this portion, but I think it's better seeing an artwork, even an animation, getting done. at its own speed sometimes. So then you can get to know how long that it really take the animator to do all of this. To do something that could be as simple as like 3 seconds long or 5 seconds. In my case, it's literally like 1-2 second animation, depending how fast I have it playing. That's and now what I'm planning to do is, and I have this and there, and then let me go onto object mode. So tap where's object mode, and I click on the camera because it has 2 keyframes. This will have been easier to animate like this. So, and I bring this keyframe. Nope. Almost moved that one too much. I'll keep this keyframe right where it is. But I wanted to see how it looks right now. I don't like the fact that it clicks at the end. Like, towards this part. Right there. It should have, but it clicks almost when the camera is staying still. Because by this point, that's like 2 frames where the camera stays still. So it should have stopped somewhere there. And then that's where it should have moved. So if we were trying to adjust that, it would be as simple as clicking on the grease pencil and then making sure that the, what's it called, midground, foreground, this one, no, it's background, because it has a keyframe right there, and it has a keyframe right there too. So let's adjust that. Bring this a little bit to the side, probably there, and then this one somewhere there. Now let's take a look. Yeah, now that feels much smoother. Feels like the rocks are getting slightly closer to one another. I wish I could do the tweening, because like if you have them be separate objects instead of separate layers, you could do them as tweening. I'll show you that the effect really quickly. I'll take this background, for example, and let me hide everything. For example, right, and hide the foreground also, and then just have this object, and this will be front, and back. No, I'll just have this be front, and then I gotta duplicate it, copy, paste, and then I have this front one be back. Now this is the effect that I wanted to show you guys. Instead of having all this animation stuff, keyframing it and all, I could just press A and press X, delete keyframes, right? Go back to the first one, right? On the back one. The front one is where everything's at, because it has everything. Now this one, I could just delete everything. Make ground, or make sure that it's unlocked. Unlock everything, so I can adjust it, and then delete it. Make sure I also delete this background. Lines, minus, color, minus. Okay, so now I have this one item like that. So I go back onto the front one, and I take this background out, like that. Now the back one just has this background. Oh wait, what the heck? I think it's because it deleted everything, all the keyframes from it. That's the downside. If you ever delete all the keyframes from something. Front. Okay. Now the back one and the front one both have the keyframes, right? So I want to make sure that this one is locked, but the other ones are not. Now the reason why I do that is because I'm gonna press Alt A, and because it's supposed to have this one locked, I press X, delete keyframes. Should keep that one on. Let me see. Yeah. The back should only have the background. So if I go to draw, I go back to the first frame. Now, what I'm gonna do is select everything here, and then press X, delete. Now this is the back. Now if I hide the back and then bring back the front, I could potentially delete this one, keep everything else though. I'm working with the front or back? No, I'm working with the back. Alright, that was weird. Okay. So for front, this time, I go to the front. I go to object mode. That makes sense. Front. And then, in that one, I'm gonna hide the back. For the front, I'm gonna delete this, because that's not important. But I'll keep everything else except the lines. The lines have to be stay hidden, because you know that's the rough sketches. Dolphin, that's the dolphin. Color, that's the color. Background, no, foreground. Foreground we'll keep, and we'll keep the dolphin, and we'll keep the color. And then the midground we can take away. So midground, you know what, we'll keep it, but we'll leave it like that. Anyways, so now you have two items, right? One with this one, which pretty much stays still now. It still kind of gives off the same illusion, except it doesn't work the same. So now what we're gonna do is go here, move around in 3D space, right? And then press G on the Y, I'm assuming, and then just move it slightly back. So now when we look at the camera, right, and then it does the rotation, it automatically does that effect for us. Now what I'm thinking is that I could just scale this one up a little. Go back to that. Scale it up a little. And then press G, Y, move it back a little bit. Nope, wrong way. Okay. Also, on the front, I forgot to put the behind background. We could keep that. If you look at the camera, or if you look at the render view, like if we go back to the first frame and then full 2D canvas, right? And then we just zoom out a little bit. Press play. That's how it's coming along. Now there's one big problem with that. That blue has to go further back. So last touch and then that'll be it. So background for the front part cannot be visible. What we can do is we can take that out. Make sure take that out. And because I don't feel like duplicating it and doing the same process all over again, what we could do is just have the entire scene have a bluish tint to it. Options, let's see, it'll be under here somewhere, world, and then I'll have it be slight blue. I wonder if I could have like a gradient effect. Mix shader. And I look up if I could do a gradient effect. I'll pause it for the meantime. Okay, so I just saw a video on how to do a cool EC gradient. It's gonna be done with lights, so hopefully that works. Simple technique. He normally did it. Like the person that did it was doing it with without grease pencil. I mean, but it's fine. I'll do it with grease pencil to objects on. So what he did, he will go to rendering, or you know what? Let's go. Is it compositing? Rendering. I'll just go here and no, I'll go to rendering, and instead of using that, I will use no editor. Where's no editor? Geometry no editor. Is that it? Nope. Graph editor, dope sheet. How does it look to them? Shader editor, that's what it was. And then, oh, so it would be on compositing. Just notes. But I want to be using notes for. I want to make sure it's on the world. Where is it? Backdrop. How did he set it up so it's for the world? Might quickly look at this. I had just seen this and I still forgot. It's from object to world, but I don't see nothing that says object here. shader editor. Oh, there it is. To world, and then Shift A, and I think, let's see which one he did. Volume scatter. So input Shift A, volume scatter. So then I'm gonna take this and then connect that to volume and see how it looks. So far it looks like that. And then I'm gonna see in my world, do I have any lights on it? So I'm gonna add a light, Shift A, not in draw mode, object mode, Shift A, and then I will add a light, and it will be a area light. G, what is that? Bring it up, press 0. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. Maybe it's just a strength or something. Oh no, I'm doing the world thing. Okay, the world one will be a dark bluish purple, and for this light thing, it'll be right here, and I want it to be stronger than that. So I'm gonna press delete. Stay. Let's do a point light. For some odd reason, it's not very bright. Let's do 100. Radius, color, let's do like a light blue. For some odd reason, I don't see anything happening. Maybe, let's see if it has sun. Does it affect it? Which mode does it have to be on for it to work? Render view? Let's do a 20, 10, a 2. It's still bright. So let's see. Because like it's lighting up everything. Let's have it be a point light. Area light maybe. Rotate it. Scale it up. And then have this be 20. And it's still not doing anything. Point. Sun. Spot. Normally the spotlight would do some effect. Let's rotate the spotlight. And then bring it over here. If it decides to work properly. Right? And let's take a look at this. I want to also make sure that the grease pencils can get affected by light. I'm not sure if how I would do that. Stroke. Play. Mm-hmm. It seems like Blender's having a little bit of a problem calculating it for us a little bit there. I think it'll be under object, right? Viewpoint display. Use lights. It does say use lights. It's kind of weird that this light is not affecting it whatsoever. Then let's have it be 100 and be very bright. See if that changes anything. No, must be something I'm doing. Let me pause it again and find out. Okay, so I kind of figured it out after a little bit. This kind of how it looks now. It was basically what I had to do is go here and make sure that the light was stronger, and then obviously adjust the color. So I'm probably gonna go for bright blue or something like that. Uh, Probably duplicate that a couple times. Bring that there, and then duplicate that, and then put that one all the way in the bottom right here. But this one will be a purple. And then it'll be dark. Like a darker purple. Or, yeah, somewhere around there. Now what I actually did was, other than change up the light, I went here and I changed the density part to be 0.2 and connected it there. Obviously changed that back to normal and put that back to normal too. And if I wanted to change the color here, I could just go to the world right here and then change the color just a tiny bit so it'll be more blue. Or maybe I'll make it really dark. The dark blue. And then change and move the lights around. And see how that affects the overall look of the animation. Now this light has to go lower, because I'd rather not be looking at a light like that. Alright, that looks like it's fine. Now what I'm thinking of doing is seeing where the light is at, and then pressing G, maybe bringing it over here, pressing 0, so then it's in front always. Now I don't see the light really much affecting the grease pencil objects. I thought it would have, but apparently, but it doesn't seem to be affecting that much, which is not really to my liking. I kind of like it. I want to see how it would affect them more. So I want to take a look. Why is it not affecting them? Maybe they had to have some sort of effect onto them done. I know when I went onto the objects here tab, and then I go to visibilities, it says use lights. So let's see. So it is affecting them. They probably just need darker parts. Maybe this one needs to be brightened up or something. Or maybe I just need to darken up this area right here, which I don't know how I would do. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do like this fading effect on it really quickly. So this animation has taken so far almost 2 hours long, and I think I'm gonna finish it off with about 2 hours long. let's see, I'll add another grease pencil object, right? Press Shift A. This time it will be a grease pencil object, right? And then it will be a blank. It'll have nothing. And then I'm going to go to draw mode, or you know what, go to edit mode, and it's gonna go in between both of those layers. So I want to make sure I know where it is, and I press G, wherever it could be. Oh, it's in edit mode. That's object mode. G, and then I put it right in between. So press 3. You can't. Oh, yeah, it'll be right there in the center. So now when I go to draw mode and I go back to 0, that it should be right in the middle. And I'm gonna go to this, change it off for something like that. Maybe make it a dark purple, and let's take a look. Maybe increase this radius. Actually, yeah, I'll keep the radius just like that. And then I'm just gonna do this fading effect like that. And then make it even darker, right? And then pass it again. Like that. I could bring that effect all the way to the beginning though. And what I'm gonna do potentially is add maybe splashes of dark green or dark blues in the bottom like that, so it's not completely one color. And what I want to also do is add another layer where it just has like lights hitting right through it or anything like that. But actually, you know what, I'll keep it that way. Oh, you know what I could do? A layer effect onto some of these things, onto the objects. I wish I could blend that out a little bit more, but maybe it'll be under strength. Yeah, that looks like it blends it out a little bit more. Make it even darker. Now it looks like we're adding some real dark areas to it. Okay, by doing that, and then I could add that little dark mist part right here too. Kind of feels much more dark than what it is normally. So let's take a look at how it's gonna look in the camera, and then I'm gonna press play, see it be animated. And then the dolphin seems to be going through it. The dolphin seems to not have any color changes to him. So what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna have a rim light on the dolphin and everything, which would be a layer effect for object mode for the front layer effect, and I will have it be a rim, and then take a look somewhere in between, and then have this be blue, but have this rim act as a, yeah, it's regular. And let's take a look. How does this affect it? From this side, it looks best. Maybe make it brighter. This time it's just gonna be small shadow area right there. Kinda like that, and offset. It's all just like figuring it out. Let's take a look how it looks right now. It's like a weird look. It's almost animatic, not an animation. Because an animation would move a lot smoother, but this one doesn't move that smooth. And also, I want to make sure that all this area of the camera is darker, so I think it is on the camera settings, and then I think I saw this guy do it at one point in the video. Yes. So it'll be under, click on the camera, click on the camera, and then it was this one. It was viewport display, this, and then turn it up. Okay. So you guys don't see this marking at all, but you see the animation. I'm thinking around there it should have some sort of shadow, so maybe an object to cast some sort of shadow onto it. If I had it been done, if I did it in like different objects, I could have potentially had an object cast a shadow onto the grease pencil object, but I didn't do that. So the best thing I could possibly do is have it an effect, no, a mask on the object, but only affect it while it's in a certain area. And that's usually how they capture light anyways. So I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle, click on this object, right? And then I'm gonna go onto draw mode, right? And right here, and it will be a layer. I'll add another layer, and I'll call this one shade area, shaded area. And then I'll bring this one up, and then I'll have this be set up to be a mask, like that. And then under mask settings, I'm gonna be setting it to be a mask of the dolphin color, of the color. because the line's gonna stay the same, but and also be a mask of the dolphin. And I want to make sure it is set up to be solid fill. Good. And it's gonna be, I could adjust this too, and it's gonna be a marking kind of like that. Now you can't see it, but it's supposed to be there. Let's see. I can't see it at all, so zoom out a little bit. I can't see anything in the dark now. That's priceless. Now that I want to see the dark area. Okay. I'll turn down the opacity a little. Can I turn it down like that? 0.5. That's weird how I was able to drag it up and down, but oh, there. Okay. So somewhere here, right? Or here, you can see the dolphin. But I want to make sure that in this, this thing, and the shaded area, it's gonna go both for the dolphin and its color. Maybe I'll get rid of the dolphin part, but I'll keep the color part. And I'll unmask it so I can kind of see what I'm working with, right? And it'll be on this object, and then it will be under draw mode. And then let's see. It'll be kind of like that, but I wanted it to be darker, so under here, make sure it is a dark purplish blue, and then I have it set up to be from here to all the way over here, and coming down, and then something like this. Or maybe something like this. That works, right? Now that's gonna be the mask that it's gonna have, and it's gonna be set up to be a mask of the color. So now, when I bring it all the way down, right? So when I press play, after it gets to that point, it's supposed to go into the mask. Giving the illusion. Now that mask actually does work, but what I want to do afterwards, another thing that I want to pull off, is not just have it be that, but slightly brighter, right? And then have that be right here. Not the slight. Oh. Now, the reason why I did that is because the slight differences right there to that, and then make it even brighter. it will make it look like it's transitioning from the shade into a darker area. Alright. Alright. Now go back to this and then make it a mask. Let's take a look at how it looks now. See that little subtlety where it goes from this very bright to slightly faded into darkness, because the light is just coming through slightly. Now what we could do potentially is that we'll just take off the mask for the meantime to do some different effects, and I'll have it be very bright here, and then make sure I go all the way back, right? And I have some light coming through like this, or some shade coming through like that. Like if it was coming from like a shaded area. Now you'll understand why this is important. Now when I go back to being on the mask, I did this kind of incorrectly, but okay. I go back to being on the mask, and then those subtle changes kind of makes it look like there's different items that could have been giving it shadow. No, I don't like that it's too much shadow. So fix that. Go back, and then I'm only gonna be adding shadows somewhere there, like that. It'll be like little peaks of light to hit it. I don't know why it has like a line, but I'll keep it. Now what I'm thinking is that this stroke thing is set up so then it has a line. I kind of don't like having an extra line, but it's okay. Okay, let's take a look at it now by having it be set, like I said, to mask. Is it playing? Yeah. I almost thought that it wasn't playing. Okay. Now the dolphin's coming through. Nice hitting it. And it goes into darkness. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you all for joining me for this wonderful video. I would have made it into a live stream, but it's not. And if you want to see this in a time lapse, just let me know. I will do that later in the future if that is a request or a popular request. Make sure to obviously save your work. Anyways, that's I've been me, you've been you. Thank you all for joining me, and goodbye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, consider subscribing or leaving a like. And check out those videos if you enjoyed and stood until the end. Thank you and goodbye.